What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. And today we are going to be discussing the reports from Dave Meltzer regarding one CM Punk. CM Punk, oh boy. Okay, so we're going to be discussing Dave Meltzer's report from the Wrestling Observer newsletter today in regards to AEW's plans to kind of ease backstage issues between Punk and a lot of talent. Because look, as I've covered here on the channel, as you can go back and watch previous episodes, CM Punk is returning. His return is tentatively planned for the June 21st episode of Dynamite in Chicago, which is the go-home show for the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, which is an interesting day to do that. But hey, you want to drive up interest for that show, I get it. He has heat with not only Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, he also has heat with Hangman Page, Colt Cabana, Chris Jericho, Jon Moxley, and those are just talents that we know of. So what do you do? Now look, Punk has reportedly expressed interest in making amends with the Elite. But according to recent reports, they're not interested. And I can't blame them. And it's really more of a Young Bucks issue rather than Omega. But at the end of the day, they're not really interested in, quote unquote, making nice. So, how do you handle this if you're AEW Prez Tony Khan? An idea has been floated around. But before you do that, just to piggyback off of previous reports, Punk has pitched various ideas in terms of how he can return. Whether that is working with the Elite and doing a program, whether that's not working with the Elite, whether that's just staying the hell away from them. But an interesting report to kind of ease this backstage issues with not only the Elite, but all the names that I just mentioned. According to Meltzer, the backstage issues involving CM Punk, they're not resolved one bit. That's a problem. So how do you do this? Well, there was a report several weeks ago that AEW and Warner Bros. Discovery they were closing in on reaching a deal for a third program that at the time was reported to be a 1-hour show and strongly hinted by the man who broke the news, which was Andrew Zarian of the Matt Men podcast. He had alluded to the fact that it could air in the old the old NWA, later to become WCW Saturday night program at 6:05 Eastern Time. And every time I say that, I think of Dusty Rhodes. With the idea being, okay, we can put Punk on this new show, and that way we can kind of, he don't have to go to Dynamite, he don't have to go to Rampages, and we can avoid that issue. That sounds good in theory, but what happens if you put the title back on him? Like, not only are you dealing with a situation in which he cannot feud with your biggest stars outside of MJF and Darby Allin, he can't feud with Jon Moxley or Hangman Page or Omega or the Young Bucks. That eliminates trios matches and tag matches and singles matches and championship matches. What happens if he's a world champion? Like, what happens if he's even not the world champion? You can't have him feud with these people. Like, there's a lot going on here. No matter way you slice it, you dice it, there is no easy way to get this man back on television. There's no easy way to get him back in the locker room. But they're going to try it, and we're going to see, and I'm glad for it. I wanted Punk to return to AEW. I didn't want him to go back to WB. I don't think he would have gone back to WB. If there is one guy who will never return to WB, it's Punk. Under this stipulation, as long as Vince McMahon and Triple H are running things in WWE, he will not go back. I just don't see it. There's too much bad blood. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments area below, and I will see y'all in the next video.